Fly Journey Human Services and Ministries and Doers of the Word Bible Study and Fellowship. Today, I want to share with you my journey that I just experienced. It's basically the journey I'm on with my husband, who had a very serious bicycle accident on the 25th of August, 2025. He was riding his bicycle in a park and he was going down this hill. He said he was traveling about 25 miles per hour down this hill. And while he was traveling down the hill, he saw this stick. He says about 1 inch in diameter. And so when he rode over this stick that was on the trail, he lost his balance, he said, and he fell face forward. He has several injuries. Uh, of the many injuries he have is a facial fracture, a mandible fracture, his right hand is fractured. He also developed a liver laceration and other injuries. And so he called me when he had developed this accident that happened to him. And so I went to meet him on the trail. He was bleeding out and blood everywhere on his face and going down his body. And the Heavenly Father is even merciful in that there was a stranger, a gentleman standing beside him to watch over him while I come to help my husband. So I told my husband on the phone to call 911, and then I met him, my husband, and this stranger was very nice to look after and watch over my husband while my husband was there on the trail bleeding out from his injury accident. 911 came, emergency medical people came, and they put him on a stretcher and put him inside the ambulance. And so they took my husband to Piedmont Henry Hospital, and he was there just for maybe an hour or two because they said and told me that my husband need a facial fracture expert, and so they transported him to Grady Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. So August 25th, 2025, my husband was in Grady Hospital, and he was in emergency ward for several hours as they was working on him. And my husband had this gaping gash below his chin. As a matter of fact, his whole chin was just open up by when he fell face forward. And I was there in the emergency room with the doctor, the surgeon who sewed up his chin that was just a gaping hole there where my husband fell. And so the surgeon did a wonderful job of sewing up my husband's chin. And then my husband got a lot of bruises. He has a lot of scrapes and burns, skin burns from when he fell. Also, the facial fractures and other fractures, and the ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist came in and looked at him and said he had some injuries to his ear. And it was just a very, very overwhelming day for my husband, for me during that time, and continue on. And so after he was in the emergency or ICU for some time, they transported him to a floor in Grady Hospital. And he, excuse me, and so he was transported to the 12th floor of Grady Hospital. He was there for some days, and then they transferred him to the 6th floor because he was getting somewhat better. But I was told after he was transported to Grady and on different floors that he developed a stroke. The injuries that he sustained in the bicycle accident caused my husband to have a stroke. So the physical therapist came in and evaluated him, and he did seemed very weak, and he was very weak on his left side. So the neurologist told me that he had a stroke that affected his right brain, in which the right brain affects the left side of the body. That's why his left hand, left arm was very weak. And so he was in Grady for 11 days from August 25th to September the 4th of 2025. He was discharged from the hospital on September the 4th, 2025 to go home. But as I told my husband, going home is just the beginning of a long road. So he has several medical providers that he has to follow up with for his fractured hand. When he was at the Grady emergency room in ICU, the hand doctor put a splint on his hand. He's been wearing it ever since. Also, he has to take different medications to prevent him having any more blood clots, because the blood clot that developed after his accident started in his neck and traveled to his brain, as the doctors told me. And so now my husband is at home, but he's walking around with a cane, and he's walking very slowly and gingerly, and rightfully so. And even though he's at home, his appetite has gotten a little bit better. I cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for him, and make sure and I'm his primary caregiver, and I have other responsibilities and duties and appointments and meetings at the same time and taking care of my husband. And if you have ever been a caregiver for a loved one, a family member, a friend, you know how important but also difficult and challenging that could be, as you have other duties and responsibilities along with taking care of your loved one. So I just want to share with you why I have not been doing any biblical teachings at this moment in time, because I've been taking care and seeing about my husband as his primary caregiver. And so today I'm out and about with appointments and meetings. My husband has his phone by his side if he needs me, and I I just have some other things I have to do in relation to, as a domestic engineer and a household administrator, and also other family and business and other responsibilities and duties that I need to do, along with taking care of my husband. And so I told my husband, to just stay in the house, don't go outside, don't go up the stairs, don't go in the garage. I told him he's still a fall risk. So that's what the doctors told him before he was discharged from Grady, that he needs to use his cane until the physical therapist released him from using the cane. So he does have an appointment with physical therapy this week, and also with his general practitioner as a follow-up. My husband will be going on disability for a little while. We don't know how long. It depends on the doctors. And so I just want to ask for your prayers as I am going through this health journey with my husband, to help him become whole and well and complete again. I told my husband that he needs to not ride his bicycle so fast, not ride his bicycle in the area where we live, because unfortunately where we live is not a bicycle friendly area. That's not even We don't even have any sidewalks on a major road that is near our house, and we don't have any bicycle pedestrian path nearby. My husband kind of take a shortcut to get to a park path which he was on. And so my husband, I told him that he has to reevaluate his bicycle riding. This is not his first bicycle accident. As a matter of fact, it's like his fifth one he's had. So he just needs to, in my opinion, and I told him this, that he needs to reevaluate his bicycle habits of riding. And so I want to just ask for your prayers for me and my husband, and also pray for his medical providers and doctors and nurse practitioners and anyone dealing with helping my husband become completely whole and well again. Pray for them as well. And I just want to thank you for your time and listening to me as I'm sharing this with you as you are supporting us as with your prayers. And thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you again for listening to this message. And may the Heavenly Father, Almighty Yahweh, Yahuwah, Creator, King of universes, bless you and bless your day. Thank you.